All right, well, I realize I have not posted anything for some time, and you're all probably thinking, well, is he finished? Is his truck done? But no, no, don't worry. You really haven't missed that much. But I should catch you all up, okay? So, 4 cylinders out and sold, believe it or not, to a guy way far away, like he's putting it in a boat. Because, that's what it's for, a boat motor. So yeah, what am I doing on the truck? Not much. Engine harness is all here still. I don't know quite what I'm using, what I'm not. Probably not using most of that. I purchased, look at this shiny Transdapt, the actual sort of semi-proper motor mounts for this task. So here we get the little guy like this that goes on the thing with the stuff. And here on this side you can see, can't get it. Where do I put my wrench? There's no hole. Is there a hole? Hang on, just hang on. We're gonna find this out together. Is that a, no, it's not a hole. There's a hole. See, I can get my wrench in there, tighten up. Chev, what? What the heck? So the way I can see it here, either I completely disassemble this whole, which, at some point I should do anyway, but I think we're gonna, oh, it's a little access port. Since there's one on that side, why could there not be one on that side? Anyway, so that's the current little bit of a, basically I'm trying to get ready here to test fit. As I didn't want to, I may have to chop into my cross member because I'm too cheap to buy the, the proper oil pan that'll for sure fit. So I would rather do some cutty weldy and then just use the one that's on there. But we'll see. So here I have, you'll notice I've got my engine sort of stripped down. I got my wiring off, which, look here. Ooh, that's a lot of, well, some of this is stuff I didn't need, but that's substantial compared to what was in the truck. But of course it's out of a van, so it's 8 feet too long, so there's lots of work to be done there. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys this one stealthy little trick that I figured out. So, you're trying to get your fan off. This has this big old nut here. I use an 1.5 wrench because it works, even though it's too big, but it works. So 1.5 wrench. This particular one is not reverse or left-hand thread. Some of them are. You just have to see which way your fan's turning to know. So you get your 1.5 wrench and you get your impact and you throw her on there. But Daryl, you say, how do I hold on to the pulley? Because of course, by now we've got all our other accessories off. So I just wanted to show you this because that's fairly cool. So anyway, your AC belt, which, that's gone. No AC left. It actually just nicely rolls on there, but in and of itself, it won't hold the pulley. So you loop your old fan belt through, give her a, and you just, give that a tug, whilst you smack the wrench with your impact, and off she comes. That's how that works. You're welcome, no charge. So hey, let's talk about a couple of pitfalls, that you can run into with these kind of projects. So the biggest one is you gotta kind of figure it out before you start and say, this is what I want to do. And in my case, basically my goal here is to take that engine and make it work in this truck. And so you're not going to see me doing a frame off restoration here, even though this is a very nice S10. It's a good candidate for something like that down the road. But my purpose here now this summer is to get that engine running in this truck. So the simplest way to do that is to find a donor vehicle and get everything out of one donor vehicle. So there's an engine, there's a transmission, here's a wiring harness, there's an ECM, everything's here. And it should all play nice together because it ran and drove in the vehicle it was in. So what I'm going to do now is change my plan. See, I'm just calling out the pitfalls. I'm not going to avoid them. So anyway, this is a 6L90. This is I think I said in a previous video, but this is an L96 6-liter engine, 2014. And this is a 6L90 reman transmission. And so the easiest maybe way to do this would be just to have thrown that whole thing in here and made some fantastic drive shaft, because like this is a out of a 1-ton van, so it had it's got a really heavy drive shaft, and it would have been going to this spindly little old 7.5 diff. So that part was a little goofy. Could have been done for sure, but I've decided to go with a standard transmission, partly because this is a standard truck originally. So I've got the clutch pedal, I've got the slave cylinder, not the slave, the master. Well, the slave as well, but and masters and slaves. Get political. And anyways, yeah, I've decided to go a different route. Those famous words. We're going to take a different path, which is a pitfall, right? Changing your plan midway is a pitfall. Now, for me, I don't have a transmission crossmember at all. It wasn't even in this truck. So that isn't an issue. I got to come up with that anyway. But yeah, I'm going to go with a standard because I like standards. But also, I'm a little bit afraid of that thing. This thing here. Super duper expensive to overhaul when and if it breaks. Now, that said, I could just run it till it breaks and then put something else in. But then I'm probably going to 4L80 or Turbo 400 from there. So I'd be changing a bunch of stuff again. So I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to go standard. And I'm going to actually go old school standard 4-speed. And that'll keep that end of things really simple for me. So then my learning to tune stuff and all that, pardon me, is just getting this engine to run. And so there's a bunch to figure out with that. Obviously all of this, but even once it's all wired in terms of tuning, obviously I'm not going to have a whole lot of inputs that computer is used to seeing. So I haven't totally learned or figured out yet how it's all going to work, but that's part of the thing. It's all about learning stuff. So that's the cool part, actually. So yeah, I've got more parts on order. I bought a transmission. It should be shipping here any day. It better be. Paid the guy. And so I need some odds and ends. Flywheel, clutch, pressure plate, pilot bearing. I need a bell housing still, and I haven't determined whether I'm going to buy one of the you know, the company's Summit and who all sells these conversion bell housings. But realistically, any small block, big block bell housing bolts right to that engine. Just so it's kind of, in my mind, I'd rather just find an old one that'll work for now. For now, forever. But yeah, we'll see what happens. See what I can find. If I can't find anything, well, then I'll buy a new one. But I still need exhaust, which I just missed out on a really good deal on some used stuff. Actually, a full exhaust with headers and everything. Headers for this project are proprietary. There's one set of headers that works here, because once you have this engine in here, you have a little wee nook on both sides where the header can go out, and that's it. So there's no universal anything here. It's got to clear the steering shaft. Sometimes I've seen where they where guys have to modify the steering shaft slightly. So yeah, there's been some progress, but not rapid. It's been super hot here, so we've been hiding in cooler spots of our lives than out here in the dirt floor shop. So, but anyway, just a quick little tip there with the fan hub: use your belts. And yeah, if anybody needs a 6L90, that one actually looks really good. The filter's nice and clean, and yeah, I don't need 6 gears. I think 4 is good. 4 is a good compromise. So yeah, that's it for now. Tires are still flat, and I just like looking at this truck. You know, these trucks, the square body S10, when you just get it at the right, it just looks, it's the right size and shape and everything. Such a sweet vehicle. But yeah, I gotta confabulate that other engine mount on, and then I'm ready to actually set that engine in and see where my oil pan's at, and that will determine whether or how much I chop out of that cross member. Well, not out, but you know, clearance, Clarence. And yeah, I think that's about it for now. I've shaken you around here lots long enough, but follow along. I will show you guys the stuff you shouldn't do, and I'll do it live and in person, and then you'll know for sure why you shouldn't. I might even, you know, get the odd thing right. But it's